there was this one moment that still feels surreal. I was at my parents' house, totally away from my setup, my monitors, my wired internet, everything. And yet there I was, sitting on the couch playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Not a cut down mobile version, not a cloud demo, but the real game running on my own PC at home, streamed in full 1080p OLED glory on an Android handheld. And I remember just staring at the AYN Thor and think, wow, how is this even real? Look, we've seen Android handhelds before. We've seen emulation boxes and cloud streamers, little nostalgia machines that run GBA games and call it a day. But the Thor is different. This thing is running an actual Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip with 12GB of RAM, dual OLED screens, a clamshell design straight out of Nintendo DS's era's playbook. It's weird, it's niche, and it's quietly becoming one of the most flexible handhelds I've ever used. And today I want to show you something that kinda shocked me. You can play real PC games on the AYN Thor, and not just one way. You have 3 legit options, and some of them feel borderline magical. So let's walk through it. So the simplest way to play PC games on the Thor is cloud gaming. The one I tested the most was GeForce NOW, and mostly because it was on winter sale. Honestly, at first I thought this would be convenient. You log in, pay your subscription, link your Steam account, and you can stream supported games from Nvidia servers in pretty high quality. And I won't lie, when it works, it looks incredible. 1080p stream, crisp on that OLED display, and full controller support. Games like Hogwarts Legacy looked genuinely console quality at times. And it's all happening on a device that you can fold up and slip into your pocket. But once I dug deeper, it got weird. For starters, not all your Steam games are available, even if you own them, even if they are installed. GeForce NOW only support a limited curated list of games, and unfortunately for me, none of the Final Fantasy games that I own worked. Not 7 Remake, not 7 Rebirth. On top of that, you have to log into Steam twice. Once you are in the GeForce NOW app and then inside the virtual machine session. It's tedious and it kills that quick pick up and play vibe for the first time. I even tried playing Oblivion Remastered, which Nvidia was actively promoting on the front page, only to get hit with a weird not enough cores error and failure to launch. Come on, man. Even with great internet in my house and being absolutely alone, I still ran into some random stutters and weird bugs. So yeah, GeForce NOW on paper is really great. In practice, it's kinda disappointing. I want to interject here and thank you for 2,000 subscribers, and in my next video I will be giving away a Trim UI brick, and if you want to know how to win that, subscribe so you'll see that in the next video. But now this is where things get good. If you have a Windows gaming PC at home, you can install Sunshine, pair it with Artemis on the Thor, and essentially turn your own desktop into a streaming server. Yes, that first time setup is a little annoying. Sunshine isn't the most user-friendly app in the world. It took me a few tries and a couple Google searches to figure out the ports, the pairing process, and the controller mapping, but once it was set up, it was like flipping a switch. Final Fantasy Rebirth streamed at 60 FPS, full 1080p with almost zero input latency. It felt native, like I was playing the game directly on the Thor. Crisp visuals, sharp colors, and amazingly smooth motion. And the best part, no limitations. If it runs on my PC, I can stream it to the Thor. Steam games, epic freebies, even old installers from the 2000s, all fair game. My advice, set your stream to 60 FPS, resolution to 1080p, and bitrate around 40 megabits per second. That combo has been flawless for me. And because the Thor is running Android, Artemis is just another app that you can launch. There's no boot time, no dual login like GeForce NOW. You can flick open the device, tap on the icon and go. And let's be honest, this is the kind of device that you bring everywhere. On a train, I'll just boot up some GBA games, and when I'm at a place with decent Wi-Fi, I'll stream actual PC games from my own home. It's not just convenient, it's genuinely empowering. This isn't just a try it for the novelty territory anymore. This is how I've been playing games for hours. Okay, now we're getting a bit more experimental. GameHub Lite is an app that pulls your Steam library into a unified launcher and lets you try to run those games directly on Android via a compatibility layer called VAX or Windroid. In other words, it's trying to do for ARM what Proton did for Linux, And yeah, it's early and it's really janky, but it's also really promising. I tested this on my AYN Thor Pro and it has 256 gigabytes of internal storage. And the first issue I ran into was storage limitations. GameHub Lite only installs games on internal memory and not on your SD card, if you're installing them from Steam. And considering I have a 1 terabyte card installed, that limitation kinda sucks. Still, I gave it a fair shot. Fired up Hades, small file size, perfectly for testing, and honestly, it ran fine. Not flawless, not Steam Deck-like quality, but close, very close. I'm using the latest turnip GPU drivers, the newest build of VAX, and everything pushed to extreme, and that makes Hades playable, and that's what excites me. Because if this is what GameHub can do right now, what is it going to look like next year? What happens when VAX matures, when Android gaming handheld starts adopting native storage support and custom overlays? It's not the best option for now, but it's one of the most exciting ones long term. So here is where I've landed. At home, I stream from my gaming PC, zero compromises, and it's basically perfect. On the go, I emulate or stream lighter PC games via Artemis, but mostly emulate my games. And feeling experimental, I boot up GameHub Lite and test the limits with games like Hades and even play games like Balatro. The Thor has become my daily go-to device, not because it's a powerhouse, but because it's always ready. Sleep is instant, battery drain is minimal, and it feels more like a handheld console than a PC, and somehow that makes it work. Look, I didn't expect this. I bought the Thor thinking it would be a fun little Android device, something to mess with emulators, play retro games, and maybe remote into my PC once in a while. But now, translation layers, and doing it all in a clamshell device I can throw into a hoodie pocket. It's not perfect, but it works, and that still blows my mind. So let me ask you, would you trust a handheld like this for real PC gaming? Or is that just too much to expect from retro Android devices right now? If you've liked this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for reaching 2K, and next video I'll announce a giveaway, so stay tuned for that one. Bye bye.